In this video, I will show you how to model snowflake objects in Blender. So Christmas of 2023 is almost here, and every Christmas I love making Christmas themed tutorials. And you can check out my Christmas Blender tutorial playlist if you'd like to watch more Christmas and holiday tutorials. Now before we start the video, this video was brought to you by my Christmas Ornaments asset pack, which comes with 160 Christmas Ornament 3D models, and the Christmas Ornament models are all pre-set up in Blender's asset browser, and they all have custom thumbnails. So when you set up the asset pack in the asset browser, you can just drag and drop the models into your projects and add Christmas ornaments to your holiday scenes. So if you'd like to purchase the Christmas Ornaments asset pack, you can find the links in the description, and purchasing is also a great way to help support me and this channel. So in a new scene in Blender, we're just gonna delete everything. Let's go to the add menu with Shift A, and let's go here to mesh, and I'm gonna add a plane. And I'll press the 7 on the numpad to go to the top view, and let's go into edit mode. So in edit mode, I wanna scale everything way down on the x-axis to make it thinner, and then I can also bring it up, and we'll bring it up on the y-axis. So I now wanna delete half of the mesh, so I'll press Ctrl R to add a loop cut, left click, and then right click so there's a loop in the center, and then I can select these two vertices here, and we'll just delete the vertices. So now let's go here to the modifiers. Let's click on add modifier, and we can just start to search for a mirror, and we'll add the mirror modifier. And for me, the x-axis is the correct mirror. And then let's also turn on the clipping here so that the vertices in the center are going to merge. So we can use this to model the snowflake. So I'll press Ctrl R to add a loop cut, I'll drag this down here, and then I can press Ctrl R to add another loop cut, drag one up, and then I can select these two vertices and press 7 on the numpad to make sure you're on top view, and I can extrude these out, and I can rotate them, and I can just model a cool snowflake shape. And once we can see the entire snowflake, we can go back into edit mode, and we can model it further. So I'm going to add another loop cut here, and another loop cut here, and you can of course also grab some reference photos online to get some cool snowflake shape ideas. So we're starting off by just modeling half of one of the points here, and then that's mirroring it, and then we'll be mirroring the snowflake around in a circle. Something like that is pretty good, and I'll just leave it like that for now. So we'll go back into object mode, and then I want to add a new object, and we're going to use this new object that we're adding to rotate the snowflake around. So you can first press Shift C, and Shift C is going to make sure that this 3D cursor here is in the center of the scene, and that is really important because the object needs to be in the center of the scene. So I'll now go to the add menu, let's go here to empty, and we're going to add the plane axis. And why I'm adding a plane axis is just because the plane axis object won't show up in rendered mode, so it's a nice object to use. So I now want to add an array modifier to this object, and the array modifier will duplicate it and move it over, and we're going to array this snowflake object over around the empty object, because the empty object is in the center of the scene. So if we select the snowflake, we'll click on add modifier, and we can just start to search for the array modifier, and you can see here I've added the array, and if I turn up the count, there's going to be more of them. So let's turn off the relative offset here, and then instead we're going to turn on the object offset. So we're going to offset the array by an object. So if you open up the object offset, we can choose the eyedropper here, and then you can select the empty object. So now if you select the empty object and rotate it, you can see that the other object is going to be arrayed, and it's going to rotate from where the center of that other object is. So if I select this object again, I can turn up the count here on the array, and that is going to array it more times. So for my snowflake, I'm going to array it by 8, so 8 times, but you could turn this up a lot if you want to. So now I can select the empty object again, and I can rotate it, and you can see as I rotate it, it's going to add the offset there and rotate them around. So you can see we're starting to get the snowflake shape. Now what I actually want to do is select the snowflake object again, and I'll go into edit mode, and I want to scale all the mesh smaller and kind of bring that down. All right, so something like that, make it thinner, and then I can select the different vertices and move it around and just continue to model the snowflake so I can make it look like how I want. So what I'm going to do is make these a bit thinner, so I'll bring that in, maybe select all of these points here and bring that down a little bit, and I can move this over. So now if I go back to object mode, I can select the empty, and I can rotate the empty, and I just want to rotate it until the edges connect. So if I rotate that, you can see now the edges are connecting right about there. So then again, select the snowflake object, and you can go into edit mode, and you can scale it, and you can move the points around and just change the snowflake and make it look really cool. I'm also going to add a loop cut right here, and then I can select this point and move it up, and then this point here, I can bring that in. Now, something that I want to do is have the vertices merge when they are touching each other. So if I scroll right down here to the array, I can click on merge, and then if I open up the merge settings, there's going to be a distance value. And so when the vertices are very close to each other, like this example here, you can see they start to merge with each other. So I'm going to bring these in here, and I might even turn the distance up maybe to like a 0.05 instead. And then I want to move this around so that that merges as well. And you can just make sure all of the edges here are merging. So you can see if I move this out, that is merging as well. So that is good. So you can just make sure that they're all merging. And if there is one of them that isn't merging like this, we can fix that later, but just try to make them mostly merging and get it pretty close. And I also might want to bring these down, something like that. And I could do some other cool things. So I might select this and bring that up there. And you could even bring this out here. So if you want to make many more snowflakes, now is the time to select both of the objects and you can duplicate them. And then right over here, you can model different snowflakes. So I'm just going to duplicate this just so that I have a backup just in case I want to go back to this object and edit it. So what I now want to do is select this object here, and I want to apply the modifiers. So if you click on the modifier and then hover your mouse over the modifier, you can press Control A and Control A just to apply the modifiers. So if I go into edit mode now, you can see that is all mesh. So now we don't actually need this empty object. So in object mode, I'll just select this empty and I'll hit X and just delete it. Now, if I go back into edit mode, you can see that the merge didn't always work. Like right here, the merge didn't exactly work. And there may be a few other areas where the merge didn't work. So to fix this, I can just select everything with the A key. And we want to hit the M key to merge, and we're going to choose by distance. Now you can see it didn't really do anything, but right next to me, you can see there is this merge by distance. So I'm just going to click on this to open it up, and there is this merge value. So we just want to turn the value up so that it merges. So let's just drag this value up, and I can make it bigger. And you can see just by turning it up a little bit, it merges all those values. And so now right down here, it says removed 3 vertices. All right, so now you can just check, you can select the vertices and move them around to make sure that they've all merged, and that looks really great. So now in edit mode, I'm going to select all the mesh, and I'm going to bring the mesh down on the Z-axis just a little bit. Then I will hit E to extrude, and we'll extrude that up there, and now it has some thickness, so that is really cool. So now let's go back into object mode, and no pun intended, but to make the snowflake object look cooler, we're going to click on add modifier, and we are going to search for the bevel modifier. And the bevel is just going to bevel those edges. So you can turn the amount up to change the size of the bevel. So if you want to give it a cool like icy shape, you could do that. That is actually really cool. But I want to instead make it really smooth on the edges. So you could turn the segments up if you want to make it really smooth. I'm going to leave the segments at 1, and then this amount here, I'll just turn that really small so it's very small. And then I'll use the object context menu and shade that smooth. Now there is a problem with the shading, so you can see the shading looks a bit weird. Now you could turn the segments up to try to fix that, and that might work, but now you can see there's also a bit of a weird shading issue right here. So to fix this problem, I'm going to leave the segments at 1, and then you can also change the segments amount. But now to fix the problem here where there's kind of that stretching look, I'm going to click on add modifier, and we're going to search for a weighted normal. Now when you add the weighted normal, it's telling us that it needs to be shaded auto smooth. So if you select the object, we're going to use the object context menu and shade auto smooth. All right, so now you can see that's gone away, and if it's still there, you could also try turning up this weight value. So you may need to turn the weight value up to 100, 50 works for me, but now you can see that edge looks nice and smooth, but then here on the edge of the actual snowflake, that is smooth as well. So the geometry of the snowflake looks much more clean now. And then to make the snowflake look really cool, you could add some cool procedural materials. So this is a very simple procedural material that I've made. So I've added a noise texture, and I've put that into the roughness so that there's a bit of variation in the roughness, and I've also turned up the metallic value, and I made it this icy blue material. And so you can use this method to make some really cool different snowflakes. So here's the one that we made in this video, but there's many different patterns you could use. So this one is a more detailed pattern, and then there's also this one here. This is a more simple pattern, and the mesh is a little bit larger. So there's lots of different snowflake variations you can make by modeling the base object differently. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. And if you'd like to learn how to create some cool procedural materials to add to your snowflakes, to learn how to create procedural materials, you can check out my Blender procedural material tutorial playlist. You can also check out my Christmas ornaments asset pack if you'd like many different Christmas ornament objects that you can easily add to your holiday scene. And if you'd like to watch more Christmas themed tutorials, definitely check out my Christmas tutorial playlist. All the links are in the description. So I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for watching, and Merry Christmas.